Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Biz Talks from Zija International. My name is Amy McKenzie. I'm an Emerald executive with the company, and it's a privilege to be hosting this conversation tonight. This is typically hosted by Fred Holmes, a triple diamond executive, one of the top leaders with Zija. So it's really a privilege to be standing in for him this evening. We have a great lineup for you. We're going to cover several topics to give you an overview of what's possible. Now, what do you need to know when you're looking at an opportunity? Well, you're going to want to know something about the company, certainly about the products, the timing, and of course, hearing from someone who's been in the field, had a personal experience, is really sometimes the most meaningful of all. So we have a very special guest tonight. In fact, she was one of the founders of our natural health revolution, Debi Balmert. So we'll be hearing from her in a bit. But first, I just want to, before we begin, welcome those of you who may be looking at this for the first time this evening. This talk is really for your benefit, so you can get a sense of why we're all so excited about Zija International and the natural health revolution that we are spearheading out in the world. So we're going to go ahead and begin with topic number one, the company. Just to give you a brief overview. My analogy is this. If you were going to book a cruise, you don't want to get on a boat unless you know the captain of that ship can get you to the destination. Someone with experience, someone you can rely on. That's our founder, Ken Brailsford. You may never have heard of Ken. The reality is he's an icon already in the health and wellness field. He is literally the father of herbal encapsulation. So have you ever had an echinacea, St. John's wort, ginkgo biloba? Almost 50 years ago, Ken had the vision and the wisdom to see that herbs would make a difference, but we had to find a way to deliver them to the Western world, right? Something that could fit into our busy schedule. Absolutely brilliant. And he had the business acumen and integrity to have that company not only succeed, Nature's Sunshine, that he began in the 70s, but that has accrued tens of billions of dollars in sales and is still in business today. Right. He also went on then to form, Enrich International is now called Unicity, but it's another multi-billion-dollar company, been around for 30 plus years, and again, still in business today. So here's a man who has the wisdom and the vision to be in the health and wellness industry, and yet also the business acumen to maintain those companies. And here's something you may not realize. You know, in this profession, it's been around 75 some odd years. There have been literally tens of thousands of companies during that time, but there's only a couple dozen that are considered what we call legacy companies. And here's the definition. You have to have been in business for 20 years or more, done at least $1 billion in sales, and most importantly, still be in business today. Ken Brailsford is the only man on that list of a couple dozen companies that's had two. Both of those companies are legacy companies. So we know this captain knows how to get this ship to its destination. There's no question in our minds that Zija International will be his third legacy company. We are well on the way. The beauty of it is, and we'll touch on this in a minute, is the timing, okay? So here's a man who's created a company. He didn't try and be a flash in the pan. No, he took his time to really give us a foundation. This company has legs. We're almost, 10 years, we're over 10 years old now. And yet we look like we're a 40-year-old company. Why? First of all, we're debt-free. I'll say that again. That's a big deal. We're debt-free and we're vertically integrated. That means we own everything. We have our hands in every pie. No one else gets to put their fingers in this pie. We oversee every aspect. From the plantations, which are, by the way, UK organic grade, highest grade in the world. Okay, these products, they're hand harvested. And that's a very expensive undertaking, right? In ambient temperatures, in the shade, our storage facilities, our pharmatech facility, right? This is a food product, one of our products, the moringa. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's like grading carrots in a laboratory. I mean, it's so profoundly integrous to develop these products in a pharmatech setting. And then, of course, our offices. Right now, we are actually positioned to go to $1 billion in sales without adding a brick. Everything is in place. So When you look at that kind of infrastructure with that kind of leadership, that's the first thing a professional considers. That, you know, the product can be great, but if you don't have someone that knows how to have this be a multi-decade, multi-generational opportunity, right, you're not going to put your time into it. And that's why so many professionals are coming aboard on Zija right now. They also have the added benefit of discovering our products, which you will too. These products work. And the beauty of it is, we began with the moringa, which many of you may know that in 2018, moringa was named, it's the hot topic right now. It is literally the most nutrient-dense botanical ever found. And that's where we began. So we have an entire line of products, first to market, that are truly effective, that are delivering moringa in the highest form possible, the correct strain, delivered enzymatically alive. Now, there's no bad moringa. I'm the first to say it. But there's no contest in having a dried leaf in a capsule as opposed to all the constituent parts delivered enzymatically alive in a pharmatech facility where it's tested 5 ways before, during, and after production to ensure the legitimacy, the aliveness, if you will, of this raw whole food. And much like his first company, where now herbs are in a capsule, right? Very easy to ingest. You can literally open a packet of our moringa drink, put it inside a bottle of water, shake it up, and drink it. And you are getting a raw whole food that's literally got 90+ nutrients. It's phenomenal. It's so effective. In fact, one of the side effects is weight management, all natural. This developed a whole nother branch for us because so many people were getting results that we created a system using all natural products. And not only does it work for people to lose 10, 20 pounds, 40s, 50s, 60, even hundreds of pounds, the real magic here is people keep it off. It stays off. And that is really, really meaningful. It's life-changing for people. And it goes on from there. The skincare. I mean, it's purported that the seed oil from the moringa plant was Cleopatra's beauty secret. I'll tell you, the skincare is phenomenal. And, you know, maybe considered one of the best skincares, salon quality, at 1/3 of the price that you can get your hands on. It's really remarkable. I highly recommend you try the 2-minute miracle. It's an entire facial, salon quality in 2 minutes. It's unbelievable. And then, of course, we have another whole product division. We have our sports fitness. We have professional athletes that swear by this in all walks. I don't care if you're talking from football to ice skating, right? Where you literally are getting the results you need without all the chemicals. Well, you know, even if you're not a professional athlete, you just like to work out. You know you don't want those chemicals in your body, but you need the results, and the ripsticks provide that. So that's a huge direction that we've gone. And one of my very favorite directions is our essential oil line. It's called Ameo. And I mean, essential oils are great. Here's the difference. If you knew that you could have your essential oil literally be clinical grade, right? That's when they did all the tests, all the research done on essential oils was done by scientists making these oils in a laboratory, clinical grade. Well, that's never been available to the public before now. Now you can get cell-active, cell-permeable oils that you're not afraid to give your infant because you know there's nothing in there except what it says. You get lavender, and that's what you have, pure lavender. Nothing floating in from a field across the way. Why? Because all of it is done in our pharmatech. And again, analyzed thoroughly. Each batch, you can literally plug in the batch number on the bottom of your bottle online and see the exact cell action occurring on that batch that you're holding in your hand and know the difference it can make in the purity and quality. We also have personal items, toiletries, etc., that are the highest grade. We literally have something for everyone, and almost every single product is first to market, is literally cutting edge, quality, integrous products that work that you can get behind. So that leads to our third topic, timing. Why does that matter? There's a lot of great opportunities out there. There's companies in that, you know, legacy company list that have been around a long time, and you would do well with those. The difference is when you aren't a household name yet, but everything is in place, right? You could go with a startup company, but you don't know if they'll be around. to have the leadership Ken Brailsford offers and his team, to be able to come into a company that has everything in place before it's a household name. That's what we call the sweet spot, and it's right where we are right now. Typically, that's about $150 million annualized, and that's where we are. And we are about to jump into that next phase, right? Zija 2.0, where we go up to $500 million in sales, and it's in that range right there that the professionals out there are looking for. That's why so many are coming on board with us. And it's an exciting time to be involved in Zija, I can tell you. I'm very, very pleased for all that I've seen in the past, but nothing has ever been quite as exciting as it is right now. And I think what I'd like to do now is bring over our guest speaker. Now, Debi Balmert is, well, first of all, she's one of the founders of our natural health revolution. She was one of the original natural health ambassadors. Give me 1 sec, I'll bring her over to join us. Debi, we're so excited to have you join us here. You know, Debi has shared her story. Some of you may have heard it before. She's over in Ohio, literally has had 25 years as a personal trainer. She is, Debi, you're not coming on over. Let's try this again. Okay. 25 years with the health and wellness industry, with her own business, and as a personal trainer. I'm going to try this again. Debi, I'm not pulling you over for some reason. Okay, for some reason it's not working. Give me another try here. Okay, there we go. And so she's got the perspective of having been a businesswoman, still being a businesswoman, in the health and wellness profession. Here you are. Hi, Debi. Thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And you know, I know you've gotten to share your story in the past, but I just want to touch on it for a minute. You know, to be in your field, I know you've been approached by many companies in the past. The fact that you chose Zija and that it turned out to be more than you bargained for, that, you know, it's not just a business. There's really been more to it. You've shared some things with me that I think our audience would be really interested in hearing. So first of all, you know, maybe you can just kind of lead us into the conversation with, why did you choose Zija when you said no to so many other companies? And what is it that you love that's different about this, you know, that's been kind of a great surprise to you? Oh, I've got to unmute you. Hang on. That'll help so much. There you go, Debi. Hi.
Hello. All right, we're all set. Okay, so yes, as you said, I have been approached by other companies, and once I did choose one, but when they went away from all natural and they started adding artificial sweeteners and things like that, I jumped right off that ship. I didn't want to be on that ship anymore. I didn't think that captain knew where he was going. But anyways, when I, got introduced to Zija, the feeling of it was so powerful to me. And then when the background was so, was all natural, organically grown, all of those things, I knew I wanted to consume it. And originally I had no intention of starting a Zija business or a second business added to what I was already doing. But the ease of sharing it was, because I loved it so much, I could come from my heart with, oh my gosh, this stuff is awesome. I love, I love how I feel taking it. I love sharing, the energy that it gives you from the nutrition, that because when you give your body what it needs, it can heal and repair itself. So that, helps everybody to feel better. So it just made sense for me to go that direction and to, marry it with the business I already had going. And I do see myself eventually moving away from my personal training business. Better not let my clients know that. But anyways, because the Zija business is so all-encompassing for me, it did bring me to another level of personal development, because they encourage that. They use it, it's part of the vehicle of Zija is transformation, and transforming not only your health, but mentally, growing and expanding in other areas. So I absolutely love that, that's the way it has been evolving for me, because I can come from my heart and share what I love about it and how it's changing my life and changing people, my friends and family and clients' lives. And, you know, I just love being able to do that. And, you know, I'll tell you, my dad always said, if you do a job that you love, you'll never work another day in your life. And by no means if I say you don't work, but it doesn't feel like work, you know? I mean, it feels like fun. It feels like sharing. It feels like I can just come from my heart and I can grow and expand a business in that way. You know, I can attract people that also want to grow and expand, you know, in the health aspect and also the personal development.
Beautifully said. And it really is true. Of course, you know, we do kind of clock in, right? It's our own business. And yet it's hard to really realize that. It's, you know, it's interesting. We had a conversation once about how, you know, the law of attraction is really evident with this, because it doesn't feel like, okay, obviously there is a sale that occurs, someone's buying a product, but they don't buy it from us. They don't pay us extra. We really just get sort of a thank you referral fee from the company. And it's one I like to say that keeps on giving so long as that person is happy and keeps ordering, which many, well, 93% of our customers who try this for at least 3 months stay on it because it makes a difference. I know it was life-changing for me in my situation. And so when you look at that and you begin to realize it's not just that, it's really about who we're being, isn't it? And touch on that a little bit for me.
So, you know, I think if you can be authentic, you know, and if you can be yourself, it makes it so much easier to share the business, to share the products, to share everything about it, because it takes on a flow. You know, you mentioned the law of attraction, and you know, like you said, you and I have talked about that before, and we like that. In this business, we could also set out to attract the people that we want to attract into business. You know, I mean, we don't have to work for, you know, corporate America, and we don't have to, you know, clock in at exactly the same time every day. We can do our business from, like right now I'm in my living room, you know, you're in your office at home. We can go to the beach, we can do business. We can go to the mountaintop and do business as long as our phone gets service. And I've done it. I've been on hikes and shared, just because it's coming from my heart. It's authentic. It's, you know, I love being authentic. I want, and I love that people can be that, because that's the easiest way to do business. If you can be yourself and you don't have to be somebody else.
Yeah, no question about it. It's a very organic process. You know, if you think about it, how many times have you recommended a good book or a restaurant? You know, I always make the joke, just so if you bring someone new to a restaurant, do they buy you lunch? No. But here we get thanked for sharing it. And what's beautiful about it is that we really are, as you say, we're sharing something authentically, and it's making a difference. It's bigger than just a business. We get to really be in service. And, you know, I noticed you mentioned what I always say, Zija is really a vehicle for transformation. We can transform our health. That encourages us to really increase our lifestyle and be more active. We can increase our residual income, or maybe create one where there wasn't one. And that's certainly made a huge difference for me putting my daughter through college. And we can continue to develop ourselves, because the more you're in service, I think the more you really get to have that experience of what it means to be part of something that matters. And I know we both share a love for that.
Yeah, I think it is, being of service is very valuable. I mean, extremely valuable. And I mean, it is one of the, you know, basic human needs, you know, besides, you know, we need love and nutrition, you know, food and all that. But one is to have a sense of contribution. So being of service is a sense of contribution as well. So I totally agree with you there.
Yeah, beautifully said. Well, you're an inspiration. You know, you were one of the first ambassadors for this natural health revolution, one of the founding members, and you really do walk your talk. Many people would be surprised to know that the pictures there in the background are of your grandchildren. You know, you've been on the leading edge, if you will, of health and wellness for 25 plus years. And you're really a mentor for so many people on our team. I just appreciate you so much, Debbie, and thank you for everything you do and for joining us today in your busy schedule. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy.
My pleasure. Okay, well, we'll take you back here and we'll just close out the call. I just wanted to just let you guys know you can find out more on the product. I really highly recommend going to clubmoringa.com. That site is provided by Pat Anderson, one of the leaders on our team. In fact, she's the #1 woman worldwide. She has an incredible background and provides this wonderful tool where you can find more business talks. You can find a lot of interviews on the product and learn more about it that way. You can also go to youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija, and you'll find quite a few trainings there that Fred has provided for us. He is really one of our top trainers. He brings a wealth of 30 years of experience to the table. If you just look at the playlist, if you want to get involved, you can literally have like 10-minute trainings on the different aspects that you need. There's only a few of them. It doesn't take much to learn how to do this. It really is a natural process, and Fred is just brilliant at teaching people how to do that. And in fact, you can catch him live on Saturday, 10 a.m. for the new distributor training. It's different every week. He interviews different leaders. It's very, very helpful. We have all kinds of tools to plug into. I encourage you, get back to the person who invited you to experience this tonight. Get your questions answered, and ultimately put the product in your body. See what it does for you. That's the ultimate test. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and long live Zija Nation. We're so proud to be a part of it. Good night.